Iupac name of hydrocarbon. According to Iupac system of nomenclature, the name of an organic compound consists of a root word, a suffix, and a prefix. Root word. It is the basic unit of the name. It denotes the number of carbon atoms present in the principal chain. That is the longest possible continuous chain of carbon atoms, including the functional group and the multiple bonds of the organic molecule. For chains from 1 to 4 carbon atoms, special root words that is based upon the common names of alkanes are used, but for chains of 5 or more carbon atoms, Greek number roots are used. Extra A given in parenthesis used only if the primary suffix, explained later, to be added to the root word begins with a consonant. In general, the root word for any carbon chain is ALK, that is L. Suffix. There are 2 types of suffixes. Number 1. Primary suffix. A primary suffix is always added to the root word to indicate whether the carbon chain is saturated or unsaturated. If the parent carbon chain contains 2, 3, 4 or more double or triple bonds, numerical prefixes such as di for 2, tri for 3, tetra for 4, etc. are added to the primary suffix. For example, types of carbon chain: unsaturated with 2 double bonds. Primary suffix diene. General name alkadiene. Types of carbon chain: unsaturated with 2 triple bonds. Primary suffix diene. General name alkadiene. Extra A has been added to the root word since the primary suffix, that is diene or diene, begins with a consonant. That is D instead of a vowel, as in the case in the first 3 examples. Number 2. Secondary suffix. A secondary suffix is then added to the primary suffix to indicate the nature of the functional group present in the organic compound. It may be noted that while adding the secondary suffix to the primary suffix, the terminal E of the primary suffix, that is ane, ene, and ein, is dropped if the secondary suffix begins with a consonant. The terminal E from the primary suffix has been dropped because the secondary suffix begins with a vowel. Number 3. Prefix. There are 2 types of prefixes. Number 1. Primary prefix. A primary prefix is used simply to distinguish cyclic from acyclic compounds. For example, in case of carbocyclic compounds, cyclic compounds containing only carbon atoms in the ring, a primary prefix cyclo is used immediately before the root word. Thus, cyclo, which is primary prefix. Pent, root word. Ane, primary suffix. Cyclopentane, Iupac name. If the prefix cyclo is not used, it simply indicates that the compound is acyclic or open chain. Number 2. Secondary prefix. In Iupac system of nomenclature, certain groups are not considered as functional groups but instead are treated as substituents. These are called secondary prefixes and are added in order to denote the side chains or substituent groups. Thus, a complete Iupac name of an organic compound consists of the following parts: secondary prefix plus primary prefix plus root word plus primary suffix plus secondary suffix.